I believe I am Charles and Camilla's son.
The Queensland man who claims to be the secret son of King Charles and Camilla has dropped a series of major new bombshells.
Well, he's back. This is a story I want to cover before we leave 2024 behind. But don't forget to subscribe and press the bell notifications so you see my videos in 2025. Happy New Year! This is the curious case of Simon Durante Day. The man who says he is the love child of King Charles and Queen Camilla. You might remember him from a couple years ago when he compared his half-Aboriginal daughter to Queen Elizabeth II. He said, "They look like twins." And this year, Simon wants you to know that he's coming for the throne. This delusional character was born on April 5th, 1966 in Portsmouth, UK. He was adopted at 8 months old by Karen and David Day, who worked for Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. This has not been verified, girl. We don't know what their job titles were, but let's move on. Durante Day claims to be the secret son of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. He bases this theory on a number of claims, including his adoptive mother confessed on her deathbed that he was the couple's son, his grandmother told him he was their son, and thirdly, he believes the late Princess Diana knew about his existence. So basically, everyone who can corroborate this story has passed away. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody back to the Leilani of Barbados channel. Before we get into the facts of the case, it is pertinent to mention that Simon Durante Day also feels he is the rightful successor of King Charles and has been pushing for a paternity test for years now. How is he going to get that? If Simon wants a title, I think I have the perfect solution. I'd like to thank our sponsor today, Highland Titles. Have you ever dreamt of owning a gorgeous piece of land? Let me share something truly special with you. Highland Titles is a family business that allows you to connect with the heart of nature. HighlandTitles.com, a family-owned business since 2006, has been delighting customers with a unique opportunity. For as little as $30, you can become a part of something extraordinary and continue the preservation of Scotland's breathtaking landscapes and own a piece of the Scottish Highlands. With over 15,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, Highland Titles offers an everlasting, meaningful and personalized connection to nature. This is where my plot is situated. Wanna be neighbors? And they even planted a tree for me. Each plot is unique and special, making it a perfect gift for any occasion. So when you become a laird, lord or lady of the glen, like Lady Leilani of Barbados, honey, you're not just buying a novelty gift, you're making a positive impact on our planet by contributing to the conservation of the Scottish Highlands. Visit HighlandTitles.com to choose your plot size, and as a special gift to you, my subscribers, enter code Leilani25 to get a 25% discount on your purchase. And now Highland Titles is offering a January sale, offering 25% off site-wide for the entire month. Thank you once again to Highland Titles for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. The king and queen were said to be 17 and 18 at the time of his birth, and the 58-year-old was adopted in Australia once he turned 8 months. Now let's get to the fact that the math is not mathing. Prince Charles and Queen Camilla Shand, now King Charles III and Queen Camilla, are thought to have met in 1970 at a polo match in Windsor Great Park. That would be 4 years after Simon claims to have been born, because Simon was born in April 1966. What are we doing here? When Charles and Camilla met in 1970, some say they were introduced by mutual friend Lucia Santa Cruz. First impression, Camilla reportedly made a good impression by flattering Charles's horses, because she's a horsey girl. Connection, Camilla reportedly told Charles, "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-grandfather. I feel we have something in common." And girl, if that is not a resume to become a mistress, I don't know what is. She said,
take me as I am, oh watch me as I go.
My generational mistress. They began dating on and off, but Charles was often away at sea for Royal Navy training. The relationship broke up, cooled when Charles returned to duties. He went off. Camilla then got married. Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973, and the affair between Charles and Camilla reportedly began in 1986. I just want to say some things quickly first. So Camilla did not come from the kind of family that would have had their 17-year-old romping around and getting pregnant at the age of of 17. Unpopular opinion as it might be, I think that even if something like that did happen for somebody of Camilla's ilk, that pregnancy would have been hidden. They would have found some bloke to be like, I'm the father. She would have married that bloke and the child would have been born and nobody would have been the wiser. It wouldn't have been publicized that the child was for somebody other than the man she married. That's back in the day. That's how things went in that socioeconomic class. There was no way that Camilla would have been bundled off and hidden over in Portsmouth, given birth to a child, and then that child gets shipped off to Australia to be adopted by somebody else. And then also that she would have continued a relationship with the man that she had the child for. I mean, it is just so preposterous. I know that these things can be fabricated and made to look real in nowadays times, but back in that day, considering all the factors, it would not have happened. This Simon has been given a platform on mainstream media to just spew lies about a fictitious timeline, when in fact, in 1970, Charles met Camilla. Not in 1966 on the day he was born, not in the 10 months before when he was conceived. They met in 1970. Camilla Shand was 23 when she met the eligible British heir. She was not 17 or 18. And by the way, she just got hotter and hotter as time went on, girl. The Diana Chronicles author Tina Brown claims Camilla made a good first impression with the prince by fawning over his horses. Now, this is another thing you have to remember. These people are public figures. People would have seen things, people would have heard conversations, people saw Camilla where she was. They didn't see any other thing that this man is purporting. So when I first heard the story about Simon Durante Day, I'm just kind of like, Camilla and Charles were so close. Why did they never bring him back into the fold at some point? I mean, you're the love child of these two loving people that had this lovely friendship and relationship. Would they never have sought you out, found you back, and maybe with the power and leverage that they have, would they not have maybe put you in some position before you turned 58 and decided that you wanted to become King of England? Seriously? But nonetheless, let's listen to the interview.
Simon Durante Day has confirmed a new court battle he's planning against the monarch and his new mission to get DNA from one of the King's closest family members. Simon and his wife, Dr. Elviana, revealed to 7 News their thoughts on Prince William and the Princess of Wales' shock cancer diagnosis.
AKA this random couple that we don't know from Adam is going to give you their invaluable opinion on the health of the King of England.
Shocked, but we knew there was something more and why they didn't share earlier what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, they needed some time to get to terms, come to terms with what was going on in their own life before they were in a situation to share.
I hate mainstream media. Why are these two buffoons given a platform on mainstream media? I mean to say, who the hell are you? Well, King Charles's cancer diagnosis, well, we kind of think it's giving the Markle vibes. I don't know if any of you feel it. Like how when the Markle families come out here and they echo chamber all of the sentiments of YouTubers and social commentary channels because they want so badly to be liked. And they know that the way to do that is to go along with what is on social media. Well, first of all, they're looking for money.
However, I think that, in relation to what they shared in the photoshopped image, I guess, that increased the concern from the public in relation to what was going on.
I have no idea what she's talking about with the photoshopped image. I think she's confused. I think she saw something about Catherine's Photoshop image and she's somehow conflating it with a photoshopped image of Charles when he had cancer. I'm not sure. They don't even care enough to do the research, but yet they want money and clout and fame.
And I think that was not an appropriate move to make, and even though she apologized,
she will say what's appropriate for the royal goddamn family. By the way, she's a doctor of what exactly? She's a doctor of what? Put down in the comments if you know anything about these two people.
And watching the royal experts not know what was going on and try and figure out what was going on.
Why are they asking her about Princess Kate's private situation with her health? These people just watch other commentators and then come on here and get mainstream media. By the way, mainstream media, I'm available. Talk to me. So King Charles is the sovereign of Australia, which puts him in a very high position as compared to most of the Commonwealth. They voted on it twice, and twice they have said they want him to be sovereign. So for you to obtain a hair sample out of the royal sovereign head is going to be very difficult. And let's talk about how you feel about that.
In a new development, Simon has revealed 7 News how he plans to take King Charles and Camilla to court if the pair embark on a tour of Australia, as is planned this year.
Well, I'd be silly, very silly person that when he comes into the same jurisdiction as me not to do something.
Like what?
But I think I'd be even sillier. I'd be even sillier to let that cat out of the bag right now because...
Is this woman drunk? What's going on? So Simon here is saying that he was silly to not do something like detain King Charles whenever he was in Australia last to take a hair sample from him.
But basically what was happening was that at the time I made a move to put in the family court to have a meeting with them.
Family court? What family though?
Get the family court to order them to have a meeting with us in private while they were here. And that got shut down for reasons that I could very easily argue, and I can.
It got shut down.
It's time to shut this down.
So you tried to get King Charles to go into a private meeting with you, some sort of mediation about family court. That got shut down. Yeah, there's no grounds. But he's saying it was things he could have argued. Well, why didn't you argue them, Simon? Anyway, King Charles got free and went back to England without having these meetings.
And then your question is, what am I going to do this time? Well, I got the right to do what I'm doing. I'm an adopted child.
And
I can prove that I am not who they say I am.
Yeah.
When I get that opportunity in a court of law, I really will show how I know that. And then what's going on here? You know, there's always something going on in the background here.
What's really disappointing is that Mrs. or Dr. Durante Day, his wife, is an Aboriginal person. And there has been a lot of controversy and, you know, difficulty around being adopted as Aboriginal people and so on and so forth. This is a white man who has been adopted by a white family and had a wonderful life in Australia. And for her to be supporting and parroting these feelings, his wife should say to him, "Stop! You should be happy that you had a nice life. Stop trying to become king of the world." It's a bit much. It's a bit too much privilege that you're asking for. When she knows that much worse could have happened to him, as do happen to her people, for her to support him is showing me that she's after something very different than his adopted child status. She wants money.
It never stops. People think just because it goes quiet on Facebook, it goes quiet, but it doesn't.
And we're hammering in the background.
Yeah.
You know, the governments know about Simon and I.
I don't know how you fit into this when you say Simon and I. Girl, who's you?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Things I can do is any...
Oh, no. Unless she thinks she's like going to be the Queen of England too. I didn't think of that.
All the legal experts out there will be doing the same thing. With this conversation, they'll be going, well, he could do this, he could do that, he could do this, or he could do that. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say which one I'm going to do, but yeah, of course I will be doing something.
Yeah, because you can't say which one you're going to do because I don't think you have legal counsel. I don't think that Simon has legal counsel that will actually take on his cause, not even on a contingency basis. It doesn't make any sense. He has absolutely no grounds. I don't think he himself knows what he's going to do next.
And like I said, you know,
otherwise it don't come unless you're willing to have that conversation.
At the end of the day, if he does come out, when he does come out and tell the truth, at least people have been exposed to us. It's not like a big shock, you know.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be exposed to you. That is a disservice to all of us that we even had to listen to anything you had to say, girl.
We've had to do the groundwork to get ourselves out there.
You've done no groundwork.
So that people are aware,
You've gone on Facebook.
When we're both in the same jurisdiction, it's the time I have to act because it's the only time I can get him.
Yeah.
So I've got to get him when he's here.
Yeah.
It's just which way.
I am so looking forward to him trying to get King Charles. That is something to look forward to in 2025. I want to see him come with a hairbrush and try to get King Charles' DNA sample.
It's just which way.
With a hairbrush. The question is though, like, are you willing to die for this cause? I want to know, Simon, are you willing to die for this hairbrush sample cause? You got to say that because it might be on the cards for you if you try to rush at King Charles with a hairbrush. Simon, do you remember when a man was detained for throwing eggs at the king?
the more they deny me, the more anyone that knows me or worked with me knows the worst thing you can do is go no,
I think
because
they know that.
I'll just keep coming and I'll say
know.
yes.
Yes, and I think you should. They just go into some extra B-roll about how Simon and them like Meghan and Harry, and that he would actually look more to Harry to get a DNA sample. Girl, the shade. The shade. He will try to be friends with Harry and get a DNA sample from him, and therefore that way he might prove it, since he probably can't get it from King Charles, because like I said, he's not ready to lay down his life for his cause, which he should be. They are just looking for clout, looking for money, and they have nothing new to bring to the table. The only thing I thought was new was that he's actually trying to go for the crown. I've tried to keep a straight face. But yeah, this is obviously just a cash grab for the Durante family. They have aligned themselves with Meghan and Harry, which is a big L for them. And the royal family will continue to ignore Simon, just as they have done with Meghan and Harry. But as always, we wish everyone the best.
But I wish her well.
Thank you all so much for watching me. I love you all so much. And I'm going to be doing a lot more lives so that I can interact with you in real time. I love you. Bye.